Rachel with Koa, and today I'm going to work with him on stay with the 3 Ds. The 3 Ds are distance, duration, and distraction. It's like that with weight, which I see Koa has worked on before. And just so you know, here at dog play, we use stay and wait differently. Wait is when he is released by you from a distance. So if you tell him to sit and wait while you walk over, put his food bowl down, step back, tell him to go for it. Or wait while you get the leash on him before he jumps out of the car. Or when you're going through the door and you don't want him pushing past you to go through the door, that's when you use wait. Stay is a little bit different, and then the only time he is released from a stay is when you physically go all the way up to him and treat him and release him that way. It can be really important for his safety. Say if he were to get off the leash or out of the yard and run across the street, if you tell him to sit and stay, then you can choose a time when it would be safe for you to cross the street and go get him without worried about him hearing something and him getting up out of his stay and running back across the street to where he could get hurt. So, again, wait is when you release him from a distance. Stay is when you go all the way up to him and release him. He's laying down here. Realize you can't see him in the camera. So, first we're going to start with a sit-stay. Sit-stay is what I like to start with when we're doing stays with the 3 Ds, because there can be a lot going on, and sits are easiest to correct. Dogs are sometimes less likely to get up out of a down because they get comfortable and it takes more effort, but down is also hard to correct. And when you're correcting the stay, you want a quick correction. So I'm going to have him sit and stay, and if he lays down or if he gets up from that sit, I'm going to give him the no noise, which is ah or ah, something loud and sharp to catch his attention, and I'm going to correct him. I'm going to put him back in a sit in the exact same spot I had him before. That way, he's going to learn that he doesn't gain anything by getting up out of his stay, because I put him right back where he started. He doesn't get any closer to anything, and he has to start all over. So, I'm going to take him back here, where you can see, and put him in a sit. Come on, sit. Good sit. All right, Koa, stay. Stay. Use a firm voice. Stay. And Koa, sit. Sit. Stay. And put your hand in front of his face like a stop sign. Stay. And he's doing very well. I'm a few feet from him, about leash distance. Good stay. Good stay, Koa. Good boy. And now here, I go all the way to him, and I release him. I give him his treat, and after I release him, he went into a down, but that's perfectly fine because he was already released from his sit-stay. So that was very good. Just a little reminder, don't release him if he gets up while you're walking towards him. You want him to sit and stay there until you get all the way to him. Don't let him cheat until you'll put him right back in that sit if he does get up. Come on, here. Sit. Stay. Stay. Right now, we're just gonna, I'm practicing this. I want to see where he is. Stay. Sit. Stay. I want to see where, Koa, sit. Sit. Stay. Stay. I want to see where he is with distance and duration before I add any distractions. He's doing pretty well. Stay. I'll just do it a few more seconds. Sit. Come on. Koa. Sit. Stay. not do whatever he wants and stay. If you just tell him to stay without giving him a sit or a down command first, and you don't care what he does as long as he stays put, that's up to you. But while we're working on this, and since it's kind of an introduction, he's new to training, I want to be a stickler about those things so that he learns his commands when I tell him, and that he has to do that the entire time unless I say otherwise. When I return to him, I always say good stay when I give him the treat. That kind of reiterates the word, and it helps him associate the word with the action. If he hears it again and gets praised for doing it, he's in the praise. Remember, high-pitched voice for the reward kind of gets him excited, lets him know that he's doing a good job. And you can see that when I tell him to sit and stay, I use a little bit of a sterner voice. I'm not being mean to him at all, but it does kind of catch his attention more and let him know that I mean business. So, also, when he was getting up out of his sit stays, while it was either standing up or laying down, I always put him back in a sit. And I stood back and let him stay in a sit stay for a few seconds, so that was the last thing in his mind. As dogs get more tired and they do have a shorter attention span, I don't want to push it to the point where he's so frustrated he can't do anything, but I always want to end on a good note. And so instead of like, oh, I can't make him sit and stay, we'll just do something else. No, I made him sit and stay, and he did that for a few seconds, long enough for it to sink in that he was doing what I asked him to, and that's what I told him, and then I released him. Now, I can tell that he's kind of had enough of the sit-stay, and I don't want to have a battle. I've already won that little battle of wills with him, and so now, since we're practicing stay, I'm going to do a down stay, since he is tired and he is doing a perfect down in front of me right now. That will be a little bit easier for him, since we do want to focus on the stay, since that's the point of this video. Go on, kid. Just wanted to let you know that's why I pushed it, is so that the last thing he did was a sit stay. Like I asked, he didn't get away with not having to do it at all. So Koa, down, down, Koa, down, 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 good down, good down, Koa. Now I gave him a treat there because I can still see that he's still working on down. Koa, stay, stay. Alright, he looks much less tempted to get up out of this down. I think he is just tired. Stay. Now we're doing pretty well with distance and duration. And the first distraction that I always add is walking around like this. A lot of times when dogs see you going somewhere, or if you walk behind them, they think that they want to follow you, they think you're going somewhere, or they forget what they're doing. And so this is the first kind of distraction that we want to do. Stay. Now see there, he turned to look at me, and a lot of times dogs get up there. Stay. I gave him a correction, told him to stay, and he just shifted his body. He didn't actually get up. Stay. I can tell we're kind of pushing it with the duration. He's been here for a while. So I'm going to go up and release him. Good stay, Koa. Good stay. Good boy. Good job. All right. He did a really great job. He did a lot of stays, and so that's good to see. And he is getting a lot better with the distance and duration. And I added my first distraction, so I think next time we can add more distractions and he'll be ready for it. This was Rachel and Koa, and we were working on stay with the 3 Ds.